everyone, welcome to Watch It Paint It. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use Quickshade by the Army Painter. So first things first, why is it taking me so long to get to trying this? Well, that's because when I first started, I guess I was put off by loads of elitist painters. I guess reading forums, they're all never ever use Quickshades. You'll never get good painting if you do. Now, I've painted for about a year now, a bit longer, and I'm getting a little bit more confident in myself and I'm gathering my own opinions. Now, I do agree, I don't think Quickshade is going to get the single best effect overall, but not all of us have the time, the effort, or the energy, or even sometimes the skill to do all of this with painting. So Quickshade is going to be great if you're lacking any of those things. I'm sure like most of you, I've got hundreds of models, I need to paint them all, I want to paint them all, and I just don't have the time to do it. I'm trying to do a YouTube channel, I don't have the time to paint my own models, so sometimes I just need to save the time, and Quickshade can help me there with the effort. Sometimes you're painting things that just don't matter very much, if it's a piece of scenery, if it's a horde that you don't see very often, or if it's counters and tokens for a game. Sometimes you just don't need to put the effort in to make them look okay/good. And then finally, you might not have the skill, and you shouldn't be put off painting because somebody tells you you'll never be good at it if you're going to use Quickshade. Sometimes just being okay is plenty good enough. It's like getting even the worst painted models can still be better than the plain plastic ones, and Quickshade does not produce the worst painted models I've ever seen. So let me show you how to use it, and apologies for that little rant there. So I'm using Army Painter's Quickshade Dark Tone for this video, and that's the blackish shader. First thing you want to do is protect your desk. So I use my cutting mat for this. I always flip it upside down just because those lines don't help with my camera focusing. But you can put anything down, some newspaper, magazines, paper towels, just a bath towel, anything, just protect your work surface. Next I'm going to get a bit of kitchen towel, bit of tissue paper, serviette, something like that to soak up some of this dark tone. Next I've got the actual dark tone myself, the Quickshade, and then you need a screwdriver. That's to open the tin. It's a little bit tricky to open. I'm going to be dipping my models into it, so you need something to hold the models as you dip it. This is a tool I use for extracting tiny screws from sort of your computer. It was in a computer kit, and that's just to hold it. You can use anything you like, really, as long as you can hold it. You could a pair of pliers, mole grips, wear gloves and dip them in, that would work too. And then finally just a paintbrush you don't care very much about, that's just a cheap one. This stuff's gonna, it's like using wash, except you could be using it in a greater scale, so it could soak up into the ferrule and just damage the brush. So use one you don't care very much about. Lastly, you need some models. I'm going to be using the chest from Massive Darkness. So we'll start by we'll start by shaking. Don't open it and then shake it. Shake the can first. I don't know, it depends how long it's been sitting for. I shook it for about 30 seconds to a minute. Give it some vigorous shake and just make sure all the content's nice and mixed. And then after you've finished shaking your maracas, let's move on to opening it. And this, you need a screwdriver, a knife, a blunt knife would do it as well. Just work your way all the way around the outside, just prising it up gently, softly, catchy monkey, and eventually the lid will pop off. Just be careful as it pops off, it doesn't spray anywhere, and make sure you can see I've got some on my screwdriver there. Just make sure you give that a wipe on the kitchen paper serviette we put down before. So here we go. We'll move the Quickshade to one side, and then we'll start by picking up our models. As I said, you can use anything to pick this up. If I had gloves on now, I could maybe just dip that in directly. A pair of pliers would also hold this if you could. These chests that I'm dipping are actually very difficult to grip. If I'd got pliers, that would cover up some of the paint and stop the shade getting there. So this tool from my PC repair kit is absolutely perfect. Hopefully you've got one of these or can find one of these, or if you're not doing it with chests, it doesn't matter so much. You could hold the base of the model. So there, we just dip the model in. We'll see with this one, pick up the model carefully. This is obviously a lot easier if you don't have a camera in front of you. Give it a quick dip, give it a little shake it back into the tin, shake it onto the serviette, and then just place it down to dry. And then we'll do that for all of these chests, but we'll just whiz through that because you've got the idea. But just in case you didn't, you can see it all happening to all of them. This took me about, the camera's obviously in my way, so that makes a difference, but it's about 5 minutes for 15 models. but you could probably do it in about a minute if you're quick. And depending what tool you're using, that was quite difficult to make sure it had a good grip. I did not want to drop any of these chests into the Quickshade, never to be seen again. After that's done, I'm just going to go about just touching them up. So I'm picking them up, they're still very wet, and I'm just using that cheap paintbrush that I've got just to soak up a little bit of that excess that's now run to the bottom. It was pretty heavy in the bottom corners of this of the chest because there's a layer of metal, well, a layer of plastic pretending to be metal that was just holding a little bit of that. So we'll just soak some of that off and just dry up some of the excess. Obviously depends how fussy you are whether you need to do that, and if there's not this sort of lip rim around the bottom, it won't matter. And here we go, and this is what the model looks like with the base coat on and the Quickshade applied to it. I think that looks great. That looks about as good as it would have done if I'd used the shader normally, and it took nowhere near the amount of time or effort either. I wasn't moving lots and lots of shade around, and I don't think I'd have had to do it at all if this model had a base that was a bit easier to hold and not that lip around the bottom that collected some up. I think all three look good. You can see it's basically done the same. It's darkened the metal a little bit, and it's really seeped into the gaps in that wood, which is why I thought it would be perfect for this model. And next, the one thing that I did notice with it, it does leave a very heavy shine on the model. They're all very, very shiny, very glossy by the end. So applying a little dry brush just to highlight up the wood anyway, which I would have been doing no matter what. And I think if I'd matte varnished it afterwards as well, that would have solved the problem. But I was intending to highlight these models, so just quickly showing you here how the shader then takes on the dry brush on top, and that the gloss has disappeared now and it just looks as I'd expected. Just going to carry on with the model just to show you how it looks by the end once you've done all the little details and finishing touches. And I'm adding a little bit of weathering to the box, making it a little bit old, a little bit dirty. But yeah, this video is mainly to show you the Quickshade. So if you do fancy some more videos on how to use typhus corrosion, do let me know in the comments below. Same with riser rust here. If you'd like to see a video on how to use that, let me know in the comments below. I'm just using it here just to show you what I did next on this model. It all goes straight on top of that Quickshade, and very quickly that Quickshade that I used as a dip just looks like normal shading. This is the model completely finished. I think the shade looks absolutely perfect. That's exactly as I wanted it. Nice dark lines in between all of those wooden planks on the box, and just dulling down the metal just a little bit, making it look a little bit tarnished. So I'm pretty happy with that. I have to say I probably picked a difficult model to show it off. I'd like to know what it looks like if I did the full base coat highlight and then dipped it, if I could just call it finished. I'd like to know what it looks like if I varnish on top of it, whether it gets rid of that shine and it would also just be completely done. A few things, if anybody's got any experience with that, let me know in the comments below. This is my first sort of how-to video. Let me know if it's useful on the channel to see this sort of stuff, or is there plenty of it out there and you don't want to see any more. And thank you all very much for watching. I hope it was useful for you guys, and I'll let you know what I use it on next. It won't be very often, but there's definitely a time and place for it. Thanks for watching. Whoa, hold up. Let me not let you know what I'm going to use it on next. Let me ask you what you think. I'm thinking about using it on Wolfsburg. I thought all those wolves are pretty much furry little creatures, aren't they? And they just need a spray. So here you go. You can see spoilers, this was coming soon at some point anyway. And they're all just colour primed. And then I thought, all I'm really going to do is shade them and then highlight them. And why don't I add the detail after all of that? Sort of the eyes, the teeth, the bones, the blood, all that sort of thing. So what do you guys think? Do you think this is perfect for trying this out on again? Would you like to see a video of me using Quickshade on this to see how they look? A proper model, used Quickshade, see how we can get it, and maybe time the whole thing. I'm thinking about timing this whole box, see how quickly I can do it, and whether Quickshade influences that. Outside of Wolfsburg, what about the others? What I have noticed in the others is it's got some pretty sweet looking tokens. These corruption tokens here, I thought they look great anyway, but what about quick base coat, Quickshade, and maybe a dry brush highlight on it? Just make them look even better on the table. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do get back to me. Thank you all again. Thank you very much for watching.